the murder of two little boys. We've called them the Cal City Toddlers. Orrin and Orson West are the names that were given to them by their adoptive parents, but you're looking at Sincere and Classic, two little boys who are missing, but those adoptive parents have been charged with their double murder. And before the end of last hour, we ran out of time. We had some technical difficulties, but we were able to get everyone together. So with us, Ryan Dean, the mom of Sincere and Classic, and her attorney, Joaquin McCoy. He's joining us from San Francisco. Ryan is in Dallas tonight. Thanks so much for staying over the top of the hour. We appreciate it. I felt so bad. I didn't want to cut you short. And Ryan, I want to start with you, Ryan. You were describing for us how bad this hurts, losing Sincere and Classic. And I want to back it up a little bit and try to understand what happened. Because my understanding was that when the children were in foster care, you were working with Family Services and your mom was working with Family Services, and we're trying to get Sincere and Classic back with their actual family. What was happening there, Ryan?
I did what they asked me to do. I went to parenting classes and I got my parenting certificates, and they wanted me to go to Ebony Counseling, and I did that. I did not complete that. That was for a reason, though. And they just gave up. They just told me they were being adopted. Then they told my dad that they were with a teacher and a lawyer. Then they told my mom that they were fine where they were.
Obviously, that's not true, that they were not fine. They went missing, and those the parents that were given these two little boys by the state are charged with their double murder. And it's beyond frustrating, because the purpose should always be to try to reunify with the family. You've got grandma, you've got grandpa, you've got other members there. Did you ever have any interaction, Ryan, at all with Trezell and Jaqueline West, the accused killers?
Not before all of this. No, I know that one time they brought them to visit, and I wrote a letter, and I told Jacqueline, I don't know how this is going to go, but when my kids get older, I don't know if they're going to be staying with you guys or whatever, but just show them this letter. I'm not a bad mother. I still want to be in their life. She looked at me like I was crazy, and I don't know if the letter ever got to. Well, I know my kids can't read, but I know that I think she threw the letter away. So I didn't matter to them anyways. So I didn't know them, though. I did not know them at all until I found out they were missing. I went to Cal City, and that's when I asked what happened.
And what happened when these two were looking at them on the screen here, when they, in December, reported the boys missing. You went to Cal City. Explain to us what happened. Did you talk to them? Did they talk to you? What happened there?
I went to Cal City, and LaToya, the boys' previous foster placement, knocked on the door, and when they didn't answer, so I walked down to the end of the driveway, and they answered about after 5 minutes, and Trezell came out with some pocket knives on him, like he was ready to go to war. And I asked him, it startled my spirit for one, and so I asked them what happened, and they came with this fake story, and they couldn't even cry. They had no emotion. They had nothing.
Take a moment, Ryan. Joaquin is still with us as well. Joaquin McCoy, your attorney. I want Ryan to be okay right now. Joaquin, this is puzzling, frustrating, but maddening. And I'm from the outside looking in. I can't imagine what it's like on the inside when you have your children taken from you. You try to work to get them back, and then they're handed over to a couple who had 4 other children who are young, who are clearly in over their heads, but beyond that are now accused killers.
Yeah, I mean, this is a gut-wrenching case. You know, I've been a civil rights lawyer for 28 years, and I've never seen anything like this. What really is concerning is that the state of California or Orrin County has not reached out to Ms. Dean to console her, to apologize, or anything. They've been silent in this regard. And in 2016, Congress recognized that the foster care system was broken. It's a billion-dollar industry, and what was happening is that these funds were going to the state and the counties, and what they were doing at the local county level was breaking up families. And the Congress said, we're not doing this anymore because you're breaking up families prematurely to put them into foster care and to have them, be placed in adoptions. And so what they said is now we're going to implement, which they did in 2018, the Family First Act. And what that meant is that Congress wanted to protect the preservation of the family. And Kern County was on this old model where clients like Ms. Dean had to prove that their house was safe. And so there's a seismic difference now, seismic change that has taken place, where the county has to prove that foster care is better than their own home, or they have to find someone in the family to take the children. And so Kern County failed in this regard. They did not follow the federal mandates, which they should have.
And Ryan, I was speaking with your mom last hour, and she said that she was preparing a room for the boys as well. And that's blood. That's grandma.
Yes, she had everything. She had it set up so nice for them. Yeah.
Ryan, I'll let you take another moment. We appreciate you coming on. I know this is extremely excruciating for you to think about, your reality, your life right now. Joaquin, explain to me, and I know it won't make sense, but explain to me how Grandma was bypassed in this whole process.
I mean, we have a letter sent to her from Kern County in April of 2019, and basically they say to her, "You passed everything. We've looked at your home. You meet all the criterion there. You did a psychological assessment. Everything that we wanted you to do to get the boys, you've met. However, the rep told her in the letter that, well, I talked to my supervisor and we decided to keep the children with the West. There was no reason given why the West should have the children.
Let me ask you this, Joaquin.
No reason.
Let me ask you this. Is there any financial incentive for the county to do that? Is there any financial incentive for the West, for Trezell and Jaqueline to have custody of these boys? That's what I'm wondering about.
Well, clearly the foster parents get paid to have, foster kids with them in their home. So they get paid, I think it's $4,000 to $7,000 per kid to be taken care of in their home. With respect to the county, yes, the county is incentivized by the state to take these kids and put them in foster care and then into adoptions. And that there's a number that they get an amount. I think it's $5,000 per kid, but it may be more than that. But what we have found is that Kern County was the largest county to receive funds from the state for the foster care system in terms of adoptions and foster care of the children.
So if I'm following you here, Joaquin, if I'm following you here, And I understand the reason, like we want to do everything we can to protect the children in our community, in our towns, et cetera. But the way this system ends up getting warped is that it incentivizes breaking up biological families and taking children away from biological family members, whether it's mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, aunt. Is that what you're saying here?
That's what I'm saying. And if you look at the numbers, if you look to see how much money Kern County received, say in the year 2019, 2020, it's the third largest recipient of funds behind Los Angeles and San Bernardino counties in the state of California. How is that? How can anyone explain that? This little town of Bakersfield and the surrounding areas is not larger than a county of Los Angeles, but they receive the third largest amount of funds for their foster care program. And it's because you don't get money if you don't put kids into foster care. You get money if you put kids into foster care and adoptions. And that's the old model. There's a new model now, which was mandated by the Family First Act, which you now preserve the family. So we're going to give you this money to preserve the family, not break families apart. And so that's where Kern County and the state failed in this case, because those children should have been back with their family.
Okay. Brian, you
Yes.
got cut off last hour, and I asked you a question, a message that you would send tonight to those accused killers, Trezell and Jaqueline West, who are locked up right now, getting ready to face double murder charges in a trial out in Kern County. Please, now you have time. You're not going to get cut off.
I just feel like they were wrong. My kids did not deserve that. And I honestly really hate them, but it's nothing, they were just wrong.
Ryan, our thoughts are with you. Our prayers are with Sincere and Classic, those little angels. We thank you for joining us tonight. Joaquin, I know Ryan is in good hands, and I know you're going to do everything you can, but it's absolutely frustrating what happened to those boys, and we appreciate you coming on tonight.